So I came to the decision to run for state rep kind of late in the game. I didn't announce until January. And what drove me to that decision, other than being heavily involved in my community and the political side, I'm a member of Moms Demand Action and a Dauphin County committee person, Pennsylvania Young Democrats. I've been an activist for so many different areas. That was one of the big pieces, is that I felt like we were missing a voice in our community. My tipping point was in July, and I think every candidate has a moment where they finally decide, you know, this is it, this is what's going to make me do it, or they decide that this is not the right thing for them. So mine was in July when my father passed away, and my dad was a Vietnam veteran. He became very ill after the war, came back from Vietnam with a ton of health conditions, and you know, leading up to his death, my sister and I had fought with insurance companies. We had fought with pharmaceutical companies and pharmacies like CVS and Medicaid and Medicare. And we were fighting for him to get insurance, to have proper coverage, to be able to afford his prescriptions, because we were paying out of pocket hundreds of dollars for inhalers for him to breathe. And it was essential, but he couldn't afford it because he wasn't working, and the VA was way too far away to get to because he couldn't drive. He was on oxygen. So when my dad died, I felt like the system was failing and how many other families are slipping through the cracks. My dad made $7 over the Medicaid limit, which was ultimately the decision that declined him to have health insurance for 3 years leading up to his death. So when he had that heart attack, I felt that the system had failed him. And I couldn't go back to work for an institution that I believe in and the values, and I fought for that institution and the constituents across the Commonwealth for 5 years. I couldn't go back in the capacity of drafting legislation and research and advocating for them just to see it squashed on the floor by my Republican representative. And to even really beat that in a little bit more, at the same time, my representative was voting to reduce Medicaid coverage and to strip CHIP of money and reduce coverage for our children's health insurance program, which are programs that I relied on growing up. So it really was the breaking point, and also a point that got me to where I am today running for office. So that decision didn't really become fluid until January.